Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're doing a tier list of the games that I played in 2023, or at least the ones that made the most impact. 2023 was such a big year for gaming. I haven't really caught up on every game that's come out this year. I've honestly been trying to go out of my comfort zone and explore everything that's out there that I probably wouldn't have played before. So we're gonna have a little look and rank them. I have 5 categories to choose from, and the last one is basically playing games that I would play only once, and I think for now just one game falls into that list. Definitely a year that I will remember for gaming. So let's get to it and let's do this. I also want to remind you that if you're able to subscribe and if you're able to put like on this video, please do. It helps the channel a ton. The first category is favorite game of the year. Game that honestly I can't top, and it will stay with me as I go forward. The second one is games I adore. I could go back anytime, they're my babies. Yeah, these are really long titles, but I had to explain it one way or another. B, good game. Most likely replay at least once or twice in the upcoming years. So maybe I can see myself replaying it next year. If I don't really have anything, it's gonna be a dry year in games. Next one is C. Not sure if I'm going back anytime soon because maybe it might be a long game. It doesn't mean that I don't like the game. It just means that I don't think I see myself replaying it anytime soon. And the games that I've only played once, I don't think I'll go back. I think I got everything out of that game that I possibly could. So let's start with, I'm not gonna start from the top. I'm just gonna randomly choose. One of the first games I've started this year was 2 Point Campus. I haven't finished it because after a bit I did get a bit bored, but I have to say I played 2 Point Hospital the year before, probably like start of 2022, and I prefer 2 Point Campus over Hospital just because there's a lot more to play with, and I found 2 Point Hospital to be extremely difficult for me. So I really enjoyed 2 Point Campus. I would probably put it in A. It's simulator games are games that I can easily go to whenever I want. I wanted to stream it, that's why I haven't gone back to it. It's such a good simulator. It's one of my babies. I would definitely say so. 2 Point Campus is worth exploring if you're into simulation. The next one is Disney Dreamlight Valley. Another game that I played early last year during Christmas time and early this year. And I've gone back to it, explored it. I played it when it was still in early access. So I thought it was gonna be free, honestly. The thing that put me off continuing it was just money. Again, another game that you need to invest in. I feel like kind of left that with Apex. I put so much money in Apex Legends, just couldn't be bothered anymore, and that was what put me off Dreamlight as well. I do have to thank the game because I don't think I've been so close to anything Disney related since I was young. I've definitely gone back and watched some Disney movie this year that I hadn't watched in a bit, and I think that helped. I think Disney Dreamlight really helped me get into more Disney mood. Everyone was playing it when it was in early access. There was so many good things about the game, and I even picked up on some tricks up my sleeve to make more money, to have more materials. I really, really enjoyed all the first few characters that were in it. I think I joined when The Little Mermaid came into it, or just maybe before that. If you're into Disney stuff, and simulation and farming games, I highly recommend it. It had so many things that I wish Stardew had. I'm gonna put Disney Dreamlight in B. And so if they put maybe a character that I would be interested to go after their missions, I definitely would go back to it like next year or the year after, whatever. I definitely think it's a good game. Next up is, I don't want to spend too much time on each game, so Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I started playing Valhalla in October last year after I finished Odyssey, and I played Odyssey with Cassandra, so I chose male Eivor to go with to kind of balance it out, and I'm really, really glad I did. Nothing against female Eivor. I think I enjoyed male Eivor a lot. Every character in it was awesome, from Sigurd to Basim to Randvi. From most of the game, I enjoyed going to each region and taking it over and making alliances. I spent so many hours on that game, and I think when PlayStation Wrap comes along, that's gonna be the game that I played the most. I bet it will be. I played it until like halfway through God of whatever was it, Ragnarok. I think I was halfway through the Ragnarok DLC when I stopped. That was because I was burnt out. I spent so much time on that game. So I think after Mirage, I'm probably going back to finish Valhalla. So, and if I don't do it this year, it'll be the year after, because I don't see an Assassin's Creed game coming out anytime soon. So I'm going to put it in good game. I enjoyed Valhalla, and I don't think I have anything bad to say about the game. I think it only got a bit boring because I hammered the game so much. I didn't encounter a lot of glitches either. So I enjoyed the first DLC in Ireland so much. That was amazing. That DLC is a must. The world looked so gorgeous. Next up, I'm going to add Amnesia, play only once. And I'll explain why. I enjoyed going through it. Don't get me wrong. There was a few spooks. I kind of understood parts of the story. I did read more into it after I completed it. Like, you're this guy who's on this machine, and basically you want to undo everything you've done because it's harmed your kids, basically. It's grim. It's horror. I enjoyed the first half of it so much. I think the latter part felt very samey. The only reason why I play only once is because the first Amnesia game is such a good horror game. I could go back to that anytime. But this one just didn't hit the same. It's bad because it breaks my, my thought of usually the second game of a series is the better one. This wasn't for me. This didn't click with me a lot. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I did enjoy exploring the first bit with the mansion. I don't know what to say. It wasn't like the first one. It didn't really scare me a lot. But once you kind of roll with the story, you start to understand that you're the one who did all this. And you're like, I don't feel bad for this dude. It was a good experience, and I want to play the third one as well, and I will. Let's go back. GTA 4. This is just a running gag at this point. It took me so long to play GTA 4 on the channel. What? Did he say he wants to eat my wiener? I started playing the MC, the bike DLC with Johnny, and I was enjoying it, so I'll definitely go back. I might do if it's gonna be a very dry year. And it also depends when GTA 6 comes, which will probably be, I don't know, at this time next year. Who knows? Definitely brought me back into Rockstar though. And I'm putting it in C only because it was so long and it left me with such an empty feeling when I left it that I don't want to explore it again. I will probably play it again at some point and go, pursue the Roman death instead of the girl. I think I played it for so long that at one point I just wanted to be done with it, and so I think that ruined the experience a little bit. Great game, honestly. The story is far better than GTA 5. Personally, it just felt more realistic, more of a American dream story. I can definitely say that me and my boyfriend have some jokes about this game now. So it's so good. It's such a good game. So me putting it in C, it's not because it's bad game, but GTA 5 has more rich activities. It probably didn't help that I explored it so many years after it came out that I didn't play the online. And I know my boyfriend says the online was incredibly fun to play through. This is me. I'm trying to go out of my comfort zone, and games that I missed out on. That was my fault. That was completely my fault. Why that game is in C, it's not the game. Next up is, should we do a more exciting game? Dead Space. Dead Space is B for now. I would play it again in the coming years. The story wasn't predictable. Some of the levels felt repetitive, but it's such a good remake. I think it's the best remake since Crash Bandicoot trilogy. They nailed it with, we want to make the remake. We want to make it from the start. It was such a great game back then, and we want to go back to it. They did it. What I loved so much about Dead Space was the sound, and I'm really, really glad it's nominated for sound design at the Game Awards, and I hope it wins. I did get very frustrated with the game after a bit, just because some of the boss fights, I had to read them online, I had to do them. If you've been on my stream while I played this game, you noticed that I raged a lot. How am I supposed to know what am I doing on the spaceship? You're telling me names of stuff and I don't know what to do. That was incredibly frustrating. So some of the boss fights were really frustrating to go through. But once you get the gist of it, it was really fun. I want to replay Dead Space on higher difficulty. Definitely want to. And I want to go back and do some of the trophies as well. Easily see myself going back to it next year or the year after. Next up is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby game goes in A. Kirby game is so good. There hasn't been a Kirby game like the Forgotten Land. And once I finish the Forgotten Land, I'm going to the newer one that came out, which I haven't bought yet because I still need to finish this one. And I got to the part where the blue little guy gets taken. So I'm on the last island and I'm super upset because my friend's gone. It's so good. I love Kirby games. The levels are well done. And even after going through a level and not discovering everything, I want to go back to it straight after. Because I'm gonna get all the Waddle Dees. That's my mission. I really, even after I finish the game, I want to go back to the levels, make sure that I get everything that I need to get. It's not easy. It's quite the challenge, to be fair. Maybe the only thing that really kind of left me upset about Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the time trials. There's so many of them. I think they're aimed at speedrunners. I like watching speedrunners, I'll admit, and I've attempted speedruns myself. I don't think that game needed those time trials to be what they are. That's the only bad thing about the Kirby game. I admit it. Everything else, all the power-ups, all the abilities, secrets, they're honestly really good. So if you haven't played that game, I highly recommend it. And if you have kids, go play it with your kids, because it's such a bright, colorful, fun game. And it has so many quirky things in it that you'll enjoy it. Next up in my list, we have... let's go higher. I don't know which one. Red Dead Redemption 1 is A as well. Red Dead Redemption 1. I started playing it on the PlayStation 3 last year. And my boyfriend convinced me to go through it. And I feel so bad because after going through maybe the first few Armadillo's missions, when you meet Dickens, I left it, and I think it was the problem with our PS3 controller as well that put me off. And so I put it off for about 6 months, maybe. Oh, maybe actually longer than that. And then I picked it up after I played Red Dead Redemption 2. And honestly, I just wanted to see what was going to happen to John. And in a way, I'm really glad I played the second one before the first one. Because if you don't know this, the first one is the life of John Marston after leaving the Van der Linde gang, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is about the gang, so it's basically a prequel. So you can play Red Dead Redemption 2 first and then go back to Red Dead Redemption Remaster. I'll say remaster because now it's probably the most available one out there. And compared to the GTA Remaster, Red Dead Redemption Remaster is so good. It's really good, and it doesn't have that many glitches. And I think the character's design is not as botched as the GTA ones. So if you're scared about going to Red Dead Redemption Remaster because of what they did with the remasters from GTA, you know, the trilogy, don't worry. Red Dead Redemption Remaster it's a good remaster. It kind of takes that piss filter off as well that all those PlayStation 3 games had. I mean, you start in Armadillo, your wife's being taken. Basically, you have to go after your old gang members. It's the early 900s, and in order to protect his family, John goes after his gang members and kills them. I don't want to spoil the ending, obviously, if you haven't played the game. You do go back to your wife and Jack, who's John's kid. But when you play Red Dead Redemption 2, I think what John had, it was gonna happen regardless. And I'm actually going through the zombie DLC right now, which is like a B movie type of zombie. West Elizabeth has been, taken over by zombies, and again, Abigail and Jack have turned into zombies, and he needs to find a cure. I love it doesn't take itself really seriously either. And what is really good about Red Dead Redemption is the amount of details. I mean, it's a PlayStation 3 game. It's so good. You can tell why people love that game. Could go back to Red Dead Redemption 1 anytime, honestly. And I will, because I want to platinum it at some point. Next up is Star Wars. Lego Star Wars. I get into seasons of being obsessed with Star Wars stuff, and this year it happened. I think it was because I watched the Obi-Wan series, and seeing Anakin back into it made me really want to go and play something in Star Wars. And I saw clips from that game, and this was my first ever Lego game, and it was so fun. This goes into B. I thought in D I could only put that game, so I don't think there's any other games that I'll be putting in D. Skywalker Saga was really fun, and it made me kind of want to explore more Lego games, but I really need to find something that resonates with me. So I thought maybe the next one I would try would be the DC Villains. I know it's a good game, so I definitely want to explore that. I would definitely recommend going through that game. It's so detailed for a Lego game. And I don't know, every Lego game could be like that, but that was my first Lego game, so I can't judge. I've seen loads of gameplays of my friends playing through Lego Harry Potter, and if you're into Lego games, definitely play the game. Now, I know it's weird. I've added Separate Ways to the list because it felt like a complete game. It was an 8-hour experience when I first gone through it. Obviously, it's a DLC, but it was such a good game, and I was so excited that I couldn't help adding it onto the list. Every chapter that you've gone through with Leon, it refreshes the level altogether. Could be complete opposite of what happened with Leon, and that's how the old Separate Ways was. But this one does a really, really good job at remixing everything that you have gone through in the campaign. Swinging around with your hookshot is nothing beats it, honestly. This might be controversial, but I enjoyed Separate Ways probably more than the campaign. So this goes on to here. Don't get me wrong, I love RE4 Remake. It's a game I could go back on it. Separate Ways was peak. Every DLC should be like Separate Ways. Every Resident Evil DLC should have that much depth into it. And we're playing as a badass woman. Ada Wong has always been one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. That was definitely, honestly, my favorite DLC of this year. If you're a fan of RE2 Remake, this was Ada time to shine. They did it so well. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I played about 7 hours of it. I played a good chunk of it now. I'm going to put it in A. The reason is because I haven't finished it, so I don't know what the story is gonna end up with. If I happen to finish it before this month is over, probably would put it up. But it also depends, like I said, it depends what happens with the characters. Because so far, I'm loving the game. I love the old school Assassin's Creed skeleton that it built itself around. The side quests are probably the most fun thing. They're so interesting to go through. Just exploring Baghdad and the wilderness around. It's just cherry on top. I don't think I felt about an Assassin's Creed game like this since Origins. Origins is such a good Assassin's Creed game. Mirage is supposed to be a lot shorter. The map is smaller than Valhalla. It does pick up on a few things that Valhalla kind of left unexplored because it acts as a prequel. Basim is such an interesting, complicated character. It's not like a hero. It wants to be in the assassins because he wanted to help. He wasn't looking for anything for himself. He adored the assassins and the work that they were doing, and so he wants to join them. And in doing so, he also protects the people that he was with before. It's really interesting how Basim from villain to hero. After playing Valhalla, I was so mad at Basim. And then you play through this game and you're like, hold on, that wasn't Basim, that was Loki. So this is the real Basim before Loki overtakes him. Such a complex character. So if you love the old school Assassin's Creed, I recommend it. I recommend playing through Mirage. And if you don't have that much time either, it's not a long game. Next up is Resident Evil 4. I am a big fan of the original. This is the best remake, retelling of a Resident Evil game since Resident Evil Remake, the remake of the first one. This is a top tier remake. How they took everything that was problematic from the original game and made it to this. It made me really proud to say that RE4 has always been my second favorite Resident Evil. Whoever says, yeah, it's their favorite child, how could it not be their favorite child? The remake proved it. This is definitely going to favorite game of 2023. Strangely enough, I enjoyed Separate Ways more, but maybe because it wasn't as long too. But the replayability in RE4, it was so good. All the voice actors did an amazing job. I got the chance to meet Nick Apostolides about 2 months after, I believe. We talked about RE4, the original, being our favorite game. From the devs to the voice actors to the music, Luis was the highlight of this game. I don't have any bad things to say about RE4 Remake. I'm so proud that one of my favorite games of all time has such a good remake standing behind it. And it's up for Game of the Year. It's sad to say, but I don't think it's gonna win. I think if Zelda's not gonna win, Baldur's Gate will win. So unfortunately, this game came at the kind of wrong time to be up for Game of the Year. If it wins, I'm gonna be honestly happy, but surprised too. So I really hope it wins. And last but not least, I was gonna leave this one last. You knew this. I finally found a game that is gonna compete with Resident Evil 2 original for my favorite game of all time. It's been so long since I found a game like Red Dead Redemption 2. I've always tried to look for a game that would take over RE2, and Assassin's Creed 2 was very close, but still didn't really take it. And now I have Red Dead Redemption 2. The more I find things about the game, I played through this game this summer. I think I started playing it around June, and then I finished it about September, and I've been playing the online too. The online is fantastic. This game is everything. This is the best game that's been made just in recent times. And that's why I'm actually looking forward for GTA 6. Because if it picks up things off of Red Dead Redemption, and gameplay things like the stranger missions, having to eat to survive, having to fill up your cores, your stamina, making sure you're not too cold, putting in the right, coat. Just the details in Red Dead Redemption have just hooked me. And I haven't been able to... Every time I play a game now, it's like, it's not going to be like Red Dead 2. I don't know if this game's ruined me or made my life better. It was really random how I picked it up. My boyfriend always said it was a good game, but he hadn't finished it. And we picked up... It was like a collector's case that we found in CEX. This is probably rare now. It was really funny because my boyfriend got to Arthur's death. It was like I was in tears. I got shot by Micah. And here I was with high honor going into the last mission. And honestly, ready to just bawl my eyes out and just cry and cry and cry. And I get the best ending ever. And he's like, you didn't get shot in the face. And I'm like, no, because I played good cowboy. Arthur wanted to die to face the sunset in a certain way. Oh my god, this game is my new favorite game. I think it's just on par now with RE2 original. And I'm kind of glad the two games that are the two favorite games of all time. One is retro and one is basically modern game. I honestly, there's no flaw in that game. So, but before I get emotional, this is my list for the 2023 games that I played personally. And I'd like to know your list as well. So please tell me which games you played this year. And please tell me which one you love the most, obviously. You can also comment down below and tell me what game that I played this year you liked the most. Make your tier list. Let me know what games got you through 2023, which was a rough year. It was a really rough year for a lot of people, a lot of kids, and it still is. Let's just end this year on a good note. Enough war, enough sadness. Please make sure to donate to Palestine as well. Please have all the people that are suffering in your prayers this Christmas. I hope you like this video. Let's finish it on a happy note. So thank you so much. Subscribe if you can, leave a like and comment which games you enjoyed this year. I will see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. This is Luna.